Hey beautiful community, how are you doing today? Sam Lenny here, coming to you today with a brand new episode, a little shorty for you. And I feel like this has come up 2 or 3 times this week, and so if it arrives, it lands, and it clearly needs to be shared with you. So I'm sure when I share this is going to totally resonate with your personal experience. This often happens when you start your more spiritual journey, where you have a reawakening, and sometimes this can happen really abruptly, and other times it can happen partway through the process. What I'm talking about is when illness, sickness, headaches, bad backs, stomach problems, tummy troubles, digestive issues, aches, pains, whatever, suddenly manifest themselves at times and in places and at moments when maybe you're not necessarily or typically expecting them to happen. So these are things like when it completely comes out of the blue, right? And you're like, where did that come from? You know, I've been feeling fine for a while. Maybe you've been getting some kind of support, maybe taking medication, whatever. But it comes out of the blue and like smacks you right across the chops and goes, right, I need you to listen. And what happens is it completely floors you, right? Let's take migraines as a perfect example, because migraines are one of the typical complaints that clients share with me when they first come to see me. It's like one of those challenges, all to do with the mind, to do with the energy across the third eye, crown chakra as well. So what happens is that we go along on our reawakening journey, and we might get to a point where you decide to enter into a healing, or you go to some sort of spiritual event, or you'll try a women's circle, or you'll have a conversation, just seemingly unrelated conversation with somebody, and they happen to talk about meditation, healing, hypnosis, whatever, but anything that's kind of related to coming back to self, to working on that sort of personal development for growth, for ascension. And it kind of it triggers a chain reaction. And it's all good. I know initially, when you're in that physical feeling, and it can feel painful, it can be uncomfortable, it can be very frustrating. But as I always share, everything happens for a reason. It's always divinely guided. It's a supportive experience that comes out for your highest potential. But anyway, so what happens is that we somehow, spirit, the universe, the body, more often than not, and actually what's actually going on is that the subconscious manifests a problem. And the subconscious mind will often take a scenario or take a pain or an ache that you're used to, because the mind likes regularity. It's familiar with what it knows, so it's not going to reinvent a whole new, well, potentially, to all intents and purposes. I know this is not like 100% the truth, because anything is possible, but it will tend to manifest a common problem that you have, and parts of the body have metaphysical properties. There are metaphysical reasons why these things show up. but it will tend to give you a common problem, a common problem that you're fully aware of. And it'll come in just at the point where you're making a key decision for your growth, for your personal development, for more knowingness of yourself, because it knows that when you become more aware of yourself, when you feel like this sense that you need to do something different, make a change in your life, it will come along and try and trip you up and manifest an illness. And that's because it wants you to stay the way you are, wants you to stay in an old pattern, an old limiting belief. It wants you to stay exactly where you are. Now, if you're going out and having chance conversations with people that lead you onto a more spiritual journey, leading you onto a path that allows you to get to know more of yourself, then that's your heart and soul speaking. That's your higher self speaking. It wants you to grow. You're here on the earth at this time to experience these things, these triggers, illnesses, whatever, subconscious beliefs, so that you can learn from them, so you can grow through them and master them. So yeah, if you've ever had this experience where you've realized that you're moving into wanting something else in life, wanting to change something up around yourself, your personal development, and you get an illness or you get a familiar condition, ailment crop up that floors you, and there's nothing more flooring than migraines, to be honest. For many people, it is because the mind can sense, your subconscious can sense that change is happening. Change is on the horizon. It's about to occur. And really, change has already occurred, because the moment you decide to engage in another pursuit, go down a route of more meditation, or the moment you have a conversation with anyone, healer, like me, I find this with people that, will come and we'll have a brief chat about whatever you want to overcome. Suddenly there's this familiar illness will arrive. And it's because the subconscious can tell. It can tell that you're about to shift. And even starting the conversation, just picking up the phone, just banging out a text message to someone or an email to someone that takes you further on that path of growth is enough to trigger an illness. So I don't know if this resonates with you today. And it is common. It is really common. And the way to work with this positively, the way to support yourself through this, is to simply check in with your energy. This is again about you understanding your energy body, your communication that's going on within you. There's a message for you in this. And so when you're experiencing this, most definitely take your time, honor how you're feeling, honor the pain in terms of, I need to, do something about this. I need to maybe take some painkillers, or take myself out into nature, or take myself to bed. So in the moment, absolutely honor how you're feeling and how you deal with that. You must look after yourself first and foremost. But then, ask yourself the question, why am I being presented with this thing, this illness, this challenge at this point in time? What is it here to teach me? What am I here to learn from as I receive this experience? And this is you learning to read your energy. This is learning to interpret what's going on in your body and being okay with it, because you are simply witnessing what is going on. You're not trying to change it. You're simply observing and working out from the information that you're gleaning. And you may only receive one word. You may receive nothing. You may receive a feeling in the body. It might take weeks and months to get a stronger, a deeper understanding of why you're having headaches and why you're having illnesses and why it's cropped up particularly at this time. That's the whole part of the journey. The whole part of the journey. It's the whole gamut of growing and ascending, is really understanding that you are spirit, you are an energetic being in a physical body, and that your ailments, whatever comes up for you, is a energetic experience that is here to teach you something about yourself, to teach you something about what you're here to overcome. And these ailments, on some level, is linked into your childhood. It's linked into the limiting patterns, the limitations, the stories that you would have told yourself as a child in order to navigate life as a little one, in the experience that you were having in life. So you would have learned ways to navigate life, master yourself, get your own personal needs met, to adapt, to navigate to life as a child. And it might be that now, as an adult, those stories, that pattern, that subconscious pattern, the program that is written in your mind is no longer useful. It doesn't serve you for the purpose that you're here to to be in at this point in time. It might not serve your career, your life's purpose, your relationship intentions, bearing in mind that intention is everything. And when you set very strong intentions, that could be deliberately, voicing them. It could be intentions that you write down in your journal. It could be, just intentions that you set yourself. I really want to do this tomorrow. This is what's going to happen to me tomorrow. And you'll go to bed and you've set the intention for the next day. Anything that is in your system that doesn't align with that intention is going to want to be released, and it manifests in illness. It's part of the journey. It's part of the process as you step by step onto the path of greater awareness, more greatness of yourself, greatness of your gifts, knowingness of who you are. And I say this a lot, but love yourself through the experience, because when you can understand this on this other level, this energetic level, then that awareness helps to ease the pain. It helps to alleviate the distress. It also kind of tells the mind that it's okay. It kind of gives the mind permission to sort of relax a little bit, to go, okay, she's got this, he's got this, he's understanding what's going on here. Your heart will align, your soul kind of cheerleads you on in the background, because you're doing the work, you're doing the processing, you're doing the understanding of what this is all about and what this means uniquely to you. So it's a beautiful process, and as I say, it can come along right at the beginning of your reawakening, like a bulldozer, through a house that's being demolished, or it can trip you up some way through when you've cleared some energetic layers already, but there's one that's like a more major energy that is fundamental. It's the obstacle to the thing that you want, the desire that you're going for, the intent that you're having for yourself. So Yeah, it's a beautiful awareness, and it's part of the process, and you trust your process as you move through it. Find your middle space, connect into yourself, give yourself space, give yourself an allowance to receive and to just see it as part of the journey and not label it as being right, wrong, hard, easy, better, worse. It just is. It simply just is. So yeah, I'd love to know if you have ever had this experience where you've seemingly manifested an illness or a common problem that you've not seen for a while, and maybe it's come back tenfold. And just witness have a look at where that happened in your life. What were you doing? What breakthroughs were you having at that time? Because, you know, sabotage does happen. It's a form of sabotage. The mind will want to sabotage your efforts to your growth. And it's a short-term thing, right? It's short-term. It's not something that should be seen as a challenge. It's just a moment in time, and it's a step towards your growth. So I hope this was useful. And if this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts, love to hear your experiences. And just ask yourself those questions. All right. I'll see you soon. Much love.